Hello, it's your girl Tina, and today I want to talk to you about tips on how to temp and do contract work successfully. Now, you might be asking, Tina, you're a real estate agent. Why are you telling us tips on how to temp successfully? And to be honest with you, before I started my real estate career, I had the opportunity to temp and do contract work with different temping agencies. And it honestly got me through. You know, if you don't really know what industry you want to go in, you want to find out more about companies and how they work and how the corporate world works, and maybe you're in between jobs or you just want to find out more about what you enjoy, then temping is a wonderful option. Whoops, drop my notes. So, with that said, let me get into some of the tips on how to temp successfully. So, the first tip I would say is during the interview process, you definitely want to present yourself in a professional manner and answer all the questions truthfully. You can even say, honestly, in one of the interview questions, she asked me a question about being very detail oriented. And to be honest, I have systems that keep me accountable and keep me on track of what I want to do and to make sure everything is consistent and accurate. But to say that naturally, and this is telling my secrets, but to say naturally that I'm very detailed is not accurate. In some things I am, but when it comes to some of the administrative tasks, I'm not always. So to be honest, you know, I do have an assistant to help me in my real estate career, but you know, I have years of experience, so I can do the administrative stuff like the back of my hand. But that's because I've created systems to help me make sure that I'm on track and make sure that I'm doing everything as accurately as possible. So answer the questions honestly, even if you think it's like a fault. You know, I said that in an interview and I got the interview over everyone else because I was honest. I'm like, no, I'm not always that detail oriented when it comes to certain things, but I always look over my work and I have systems in place where I check my work so that everything is accurate. And that's more honest, and she feels that. She or he, your interviewer, feels when you're lying or just BSing an answer just to get the job. This goes without saying. I think the next tip is when you want to be successful while temping, you have to have a wonderful attitude. People love to be in the room with someone that has a great attitude, and you can fake it for a long time, but it's great to, you know, internally feel good and to be happy and to have a good attitude. And the energy you cannot fake. So I would say, you know, if you can meditate before work, if you can get a walk in, or if you exercise, and if you pray, do all those things to clear your energy. In the shower, I say things like, Jesus, can you please renew my mind, body, and spirit? And I believe truly that when I get out of the shower, my body, my mind, and my spirit is renewed, and it helps me have the good energy. And people want that around them. And this also is an easy, it really seems like a simple tip, but be on time. I sold my car, so, you know, when I got to Denver, I did do a number of temp jobs. And, you know, taking public transportation, it is kind of hard to get places on time, especially if the bus system is down or delayed or late or canceled. And especially during COVID, the public transportation and the train especially wasn't always on time or even running. So in those times, always communicate before you're going to be late. Like if you're supposed to be there at 8 o'clock and it's 7:40, write an email to your boss and let them know what's going on ahead of time. They will forgive you being late if it's an emergency or something out of your control happened, but they won't forgive you if you don't communicate. So always communicate with your manager. Um, and let's say that you are late one time. Don't just put your regular time on your timesheet as if you weren't late. Like, you have to really understand what your manager wants, but they want someone that's going to be honest in their timesheet. And you can have a conversation about that. Would you prefer that I put my exact time, or would you want me to maybe stay a little bit longer and then just maintain my hours so that we can just be accurate on my timesheet? Which do you prefer? You know, you can talk about it. A lot of them don't care as long as you don't go over a certain amount of hours, but always be honest. I've been a good temp and I've been a bad temp. You know, I've been temping on and off for years. I started when I first moved to Miami, Florida, and I moved to Miami without a job. So I signed up with different temp agencies in the area. I would recommend signing up with a few, at least like 2 or 3. And not all of them will get you working, but maybe 2 will get you working, and you can work more even on the weekends. I've worked with an agency that is more on the corporate side, so they do administrative, accounting, medical jobs, if you're an engineer, things like that. But I also have worked with a temp agency that is geared toward leasing. So it helped prepare me for my real estate career, and it helped me get in the leasing kind of real estate industry, and it gave me experience. So I would work on Saturdays as well, and that brought in more income. So yeah, sign up with a couple different temp agencies to keep you working, and if one doesn't have a job, maybe the other one will have a job for you. Always check your work. I might have mentioned that before, but if you are finished with your work, always ask if there's anything else you can do. Look for things that you can do that would be helpful. Always, like I said, dress for success. And, you know, like I said, I've been a good temp and I've been a bad temp. So on the weekends, do not leave your phone charger there. Don't leave your mirror there or your lip gloss there. Or don't leave anything at the desk. Because honestly, if for whatever reason they're not happy with you, they will call your agency and you won't be back. You won't have a chance to go get your sweater that you left on the chair. You won't have a chance to get anything. And that's protocol. I've been at an agency that told my, I've been at a contract job that told my agency, like, okay, well, this project is over. Actually, during COVID, you know, the office closed. So they told my agency on Wednesday that like Friday would be my last day, and they'd hire me back after COVID. So I had an opportunity to get my stuff and find another opportunity, but unfortunately during COVID, nobody was really hiring. So that's probably the only time an agency actually forewarned my job actually forewarned my agency and told me that I had a couple days left at the job. So usually agencies or the corporate job that you're temping at don't give you an opportunity or a head start to collect your belongings. You're just out, and they do that for safety and security precautions. I worked in a really toxic environment at a corporate office years ago. And because of the situation, I wasn't really like producing my work as fast as possible, and I was really unhappy there. And, you know, I was in the office working late because I was trying to get my work done for that day that I didn't. And my boss had called my temp agency and told them that they no longer needed my services. So I was still at work and I had my computer, and I went into the office to turn on my computer since my agency called me on my cell phone to tell me that would be my last day. And literally my manager turned like bright red. Like, I'm in the office, he let me go, and it was a tense situation anyways. So can you imagine if I was upset, which I wasn't? I was disappointed, but just imagine if I was vindictive and something could have happened that could compromise the security if I was a different person, if I wasn't a Christian, or if I was not stable, So thank God I am stable, thank God I am a Christian, and thank God I always know that other opportunities come for you that are better fit. At that time, I really appreciated not being in that environment because it was just so toxic. And I'm really happy that I didn't have to go to work for that company anymore. And not too long after that, I got a better opportunity that was closer to my house, that paid more, and that I really liked the environment better. Let's see if I forgot anything. Always check your work, put the right time on your timesheet, have a positive attitude. Oh yeah, so like if your boss asks, what did you do today or what did you accomplish this week, always give them updates and always like put every little detail like, I organized the Excel project and, like always like explain it so well and articulate what you've done. So it sounds like you've done like a tremendous amount and you're adding service, but also just add service. And whatever you say will seem very impressive because you're being impressive. When you're talking or socializing at the water cooler or whatever, keep that to a minimum, but let's just say your team invites you out to coffee. In one of my temp jobs, it was like National, what was it, Appreciation Day for coworkers or something like that. I don't even know if that exists, but some appreciation day for your coworkers or something like that. Your employees, employee appreciation day or something. That sounds like what it was. So the supervisor asked a couple of their employees, including me, to go out for coffee, and she would treat. And if they ask you questions about your personal life, always make it something positive, or that you're to display that you're a fun person, you have an active social life, that you have a great family life, that you're a hard worker. They want to see traits of a winner, like what did you do on the weekend? Make it something interesting, but also be honest. You can say, I just finished this wonderful book, or I love hiking, so I went hiking this weekend at this wonderful place and there was a beautiful view. Or just say, last year I took the year off to travel, which I did. But if they ask you, like, what did you do for work? You can say, like, what you did. I would say I took French class for 3 hours a day and I loved it, but I also worked under a real estate company and to learn how to do real estate in France, something amazing like that. But don't say like, I didn't work, I didn't do anything, and don't make it sound like you're not interesting at all. Even if it's like the most boring thing, like I sat on the patio all day with my dog, like just be like, I just really like took some time for myself to relax. It was wonderful. I got to spend some much needed time relaxing with my rescue dog, something like that. But yeah, if you keep these tips in mind about temping and contract work, you will always stay working. Just remember to dress for success. Don't leave anything at your desk. Ask for more work if you can. Always check your work. Put the right time on your timesheet. Have a positive attitude and also paint everything you say in a positive light. Be on time. Have a great attitude, and also read the room. Don't talk too much if they're not talkers. Don't give any inappropriate compliments if they're not really compliment kind of people. Have fun if they're fun people, but always have the work be your focus. And with those tips, you will be a successful temp, and you could possibly get hired at that company and be brought on and get a pay increase. Oh, and the last thing I want to say, I always want to leave some tips for the people that stay to the end. And also, don't forget to like this video and don't forget to share this video. Comment below and tell me if you've had some great temping or contract experiences. But the last tip I want to give you is sometimes the contractor will give you like a low pay rate, because there's a difference between how much the agency gets paid and how much they pay you. So there's always a little bit of room of how much they can pay you versus how much they're getting off of you. If they're getting paid like $30, they can pay you like $20, but there's a $10 difference in between there, so they can go up a little bit. So just say like, I really don't want to make less than 17, or I really want to stick to $20 an hour. And if you do that, then they will start giving you higher paying jobs, and that works out for you at the end. So negotiate your price. And that's the last tip I want to give about how to temp successfully. Tips to temp successfully, and you'll be on your way. Good luck and bisous.